This TikTok, did you see all this stuff coming out of like Giza?
Mm-mm.
Like with the pyramids?
No, I'm on a different algorithm apparently.
Apparently. So they did some research in the pyramids of Giza, and it's like synthetic radar Doppler tomography or something like that.
That's a lot of words.
Very fancy stuff. But basically it's putting waves down and seeing what comes back.
Yes, they do that in the ocean too. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what they did was beneath the pyramid of Khafra, they did sonar scans and discovered 8 perfect cylinder things going 648 meters down. That's like 2,100 feet.
Whoa.
And it was deep into solid bedrock. There's coils around each of these cylinders that could be like a stairway. And then at the bottom, there's these giant chambers. I think it said like 60 meters square.
What the fuck is in those?
What is it? And then they found more chambers like within other pyramids. But this one, 2,100 feet deep below. I mean, you want to talk, what is the shaft? The shaft?
The shaft. But also.
But they went down 100 feet and then stopped.
2,100 feet. Humans with no current. You're telling me that's not aliens? Shut the fuck up.
I'm not saying it was aliens.
I'm not saying it was aliens, but fucking
it was
aliens.
aliens.
Whatever you think an
Like,
alien is, there's no way humans did that. Unless it was something where it was like built and then something happened and land piled on top. That's an option, but like
that's an option.
That is an option, and I will give that as an option, but I still think it's fucking aliens.
I mean, especially I am not a land scientist, right?
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Because I couldn't think of the word of what that would be.
Geologist?
That's geologist.
I thought it was geographer.
That's maps, right? Like where things are.
I think geology is stones.
Well, okay, but wouldn't that work for this? Like you're in the desert and the sand piles up.
You know, someone smarter than me probably knows this.
The internet is going insane right now at the dumbness happening.
You know what?
I
never said that I was smart.
I care. Anyway, I think that's pretty dang cool. But yeah, I thought that was pretty freaking fascinating.
That is fascinating. I wonder what's down there.
I want to know so bad. But then part of it's like I know you have to preserve it, but like, can we just go down there? Can we just figure out how to get down there? Like, you have these chambers. Can we just go in there? Can we just figure it out? Can we, like, I don't want to, I'm going to use the word drill, and that would be bad right now.
Yeah, no.
But I always want to, like, can we just move a few stones? I'm probably talking, I know I'm talking out of my ass right now, but
I think it's a little bit harder than that, but yeah.
But can we just get in there? Can we just get in there?
But, so thing number one is, I know that you hate the movie, The Mummy, but I want to know who's volunteering to go first, because anybody, like, if it's worded with scary shit, like who's
But we have the technology to send in robots.
Okay, so we'll do that. And then the other thing,
we send a fucking robot to Mars.
I mean, that's true. So you send a robot down and like make sure it's safe. But then still, a robot goes down. But then what happens if you get cursed by going down? Because you don't know. You don't know. Kinley's teacher, my oldest daughter's teacher, they are doing a like lesson on Egypt like a few weeks ago, and her teacher is definitely witchy. Like she has all like Kinley will come home and tell me some of the stuff. She said she's the sweetest, love her so much. And she kept being like, is it something or was it magic? Like anytime they talk about things going on in like Egypt, she's like, was it this or was it magic?
Magic.
Yeah, 1,000%. And it was just like funny.
How does a telephone work? Magic.
Yeah, but I love it.
That's my.
Well, but
reasoning.
hers was she's more saying.
I know.
I was like, that's not the same, Meg. That's literally not the same because the telephone works by I don't know. Well, I don't know. To me, it's magic too. But
every time I say I just can't wrap my head around a telephone, someone tries to explain it to me, and I'm like, no, I don't want you to explain it to me.
Did you think I was going to explain it to you?
I thought you were going to start. You were going to start explaining it to me, and I'm like, no, I don't. I'm not going to understand.
Do you think that I know how a fucking telephone works?
Your husband's like dying right now in the car listening to this.
And don't you dare try and tell us, Derek.
I don't care.
We don't give a fuck.
It's magic.
All right. Do you want to hear a joke now?
Yeah.
Okay.
The face you just made lets me know it's gonna be good.
All right. An elephant asked a camel, "Why are your breasts on your back?" Well, says the camel, "I think that's a strange question from somebody who has a wiener on their face."
I mean, that's fair.
One more.
That's fair. I like that one.
Man cheats on his girlfriend named Lorraine with a girl named Clearly. Suddenly, Lorraine died. At the funeral, the man stands up and sings, "I can see clearly now, Lorraine is gone."
It's terrible, but also funny.
There you go.
Oh my gosh. Hello and welcome to Lunatic Soup, the podcast where we go into all things wild, weird, and unknown. We're your host, Meg.
And I'm Raina, ready to brew up some lunatic soup.
Let's go. All right.
What are we drinking?
What are we drinking?
We're drinking Incline.
Why are we drinking Incline?
Because we're going to Incline tomorrow for the first time in almost a fucking year.
I don't understand how it's been that long.
Because we were busy.
It was April of last year.
Was it? Yeah, it's almost
was
a year.
April of last
And
year.
the reason we are going is because our lovely friend Allie, who works there, sent us a DM and was like, "Hey, I have something I want to run by you guys. Would love if you came in." Da da da. And we were like,
Say less.
We just needed like the motivation to
needed that.
do it.
Here, we've been, like, this past year especially, we've been hermits.
Yeah.
We've been homebodies. Like,
Yeah.
do we want to go out or do we want to sit on the couch and order Taco Bell and just drink in our pajamas?
That's what I like to
It's
do.
always the second option.
But we both had nothing going on, and so we were like, "Let's do it.
Let's do it.
So Mr. Boo Boo's driving, taking
Oh, he
us.
is. Yeah, I asked that earlier. I wasn't sure.
I didn't realize I didn't respond. I was
You didn't
carpet. I was
respond.
carpet
God
cleaning.
damn it, Rain. All right, so this is Honey Crisp. I do wish we had. I should have brought some. I have Fireball at the house.
Tell your husband to run it over. Just come drop skis some off.
Ask Tex to go get it out of the garage. Cheers.
Cheers.
I mean, that's just
So good. It definitely needs Fireball,
It
in my
does.
professional opinion, but
your
it's
professional
delightful.
opinion. All right, so today we are going to talk about vampires of New Orleans.
I'm stoked about this.
This one's a good one.
This is the TikTok page, TikTok algorithm I've stumbled onto is like people
Vampires?
telling their like real life encounters with them. Like one lady's an Uber driver and she was telling shit and just
We'll
why.
have to look at that one.
I mean, I can't remember. I watched it. I don't think I sent it to you or saved
Was she
it.
in New Orleans?
Mhm. It was all New Orleans.
All New
New
Orleans.
Orleans. And then it just like, you get on one part of the algorithm. So this was like a month ago, but I was on it for a while where I was just hearing all these vampire stories in New
love it.
Orleans. Like
I wanna hear
recent
vampire-
ones.
Yeah, there's a lot. Like,
Yeah.
and we'll talk about that a little bit.
Okay.
Vampires are ancient,
Mhm.
right? They're widespread throughout Europe. The earliest stories emerged from the Slavic and Romanian folklore. The stories were brought to the New World by immigrants who settled primarily in New Orleans at the time, because it was from that area where they came. And there's been vampires throughout different parts of the now United States,
Right.
but this was the main one. Like, this was the main area. For whatever reason, it concentrated in the New Orleans area.
Interesting.
So there's European settlers brought the folklore, including tales of blood-sucking creatures that roamed the night. In Slavic cultures, vampires were often seen as revenants of evil beings. You know what a revenant is?
Yes, because explain it. Because
It's like a zombie.
okay, yeah.
Back from the dead.
I was just
like
about to
undead.
say, yeah, they talk about it a lot in all the like romance fantasy books. Like a few of them talk about revenants. Yeah.
Yeah, so they thought that these were revenants of evil beings, suicides, witches, but they could also be created by a malevolent spirit possessing a corpse or
Ooh.
being bitten by a vampire.
Possessing a corpse.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That's a zombie.
Well, no, because a zombie is turned.
Oh, okay, fine. But it's
Right?
basically a zombie.
But if it's possessing a corpse, it's a meat suit. Oh, what do you think you are right now? You're a meat suit.
I'm a meat suit for my soul.
You're a meat suit,
Yeah.
right? This one just happened to be you're taking over someone else's deceased meat suit.
All I can hear is my husband being like, "Yeah, you're my meat suit," or something horrible like that. Like I don't know why. That's just like what popped in my head.
I wouldn't put it past him.
No.
So these creatures are often seen depicted as bloated with blood or like runny, dark complexions, or they could be suave, charismatic, but that's more like modern fiction. That's not like what people experience.
Right,
like
they're
the
not
old
like-
folklore tales.
Yeah.
They're not Edward.
How rude. Or
I'm
Brad Pitt.
hideous.
Or I know.
If I were to pick a vampire,
It'd
it
be
would
that.
be Louis.
Oh.
Louis is Brad Pitt.
But who's the other one? What's his name?
Lestat.
Lestat. Okay. I
I
thought
mean,
you were
look-
talking about the other one, and I was like,
Look,
I haven't
it's-
seen that movie
it's-
since I was a kid, so
I
I
watch
don't,
it every
I don't
year.
recall.
Of course I watch it every year.
Of course you do.
I watch all of them
It
every
used to
year.
terrify me, but
Really?
well, because I watched it as a kid, and it was like I would watch it over at my best friend's house. My mom would have never let me watch it, but they would watch it all the time, and it fucking terrified me.
That's why she wouldn't let you watch it.
Yeah, but then she fucking showed me the Thriller music video, and then I can't do zombies or
That one
or
kills me.
werewolves.
That one kills me.
But that's why I'm scared of it.
Thriller video.
Oh, I thought you were making fun of me for being scared of it.
No, yeah, I am.
Oh. But this was also my thought, was the Thriller video when you were talking about meat suits, as in, because they're not turned zombies. They all come out of the grave. Think about that in the Thriller music video.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
They shoot their hands up, they crawl out of the grave.
That's a revenant.
Yeah, that's a
Instead
revenant.
of like being bitten by another zombie.
Uh-huh.
Interesting.
I was thinking about that.
Interesting.
I know. Look, her
at
brain
that.
worked for 5 seconds.
Look at that.
Not really. It was just remembering things. So in the Taylor Swift "Look What You Made Me Do" music video, but you wouldn't know about that. So
Nope.
I do. But she's a zombie at the beginning and crawls out of a grave.
Oh, I think I did know that.
And because you sent me a gif of her one time, not realizing it was
I didn't know
her.
it was Taylor Swift.
You just sent me a zombie gif, and I was like, "That's Taylor Swift." You're like, "What?"
Yeah, no, I was trying to poke fun at you.
Yeah, and then but
Didn't work.
you played right into me,
I
right
did.
into the palm of my hand.
Right. So New Orleans was found in 1718 by the French, and it later came under Spanish control before reverting to French rule briefly and then becoming part of the United States in 1803. The French and Spanish brought their own vampire myths and legends, which intertwined with local stories and African spiritual beliefs brought by enslaved people. They also had a lot of like Caribbean, Haitian influence in that area. So you are mixing so many different lores and legends.
And because vampires are definitely big in like African tribes too. I like seen things that they very much believe in vampires and
vampires, or would that be more like the revenant zombie?
Well, maybe it is. Maybe that's what it is. But either way, someone who like literally sucks your blood.
Undead.
Yeah,
The undead.
Yeah, undead.
French folklore introduced the revenant, a term broadly encompassing the undead, including vampires. So I guess that encompasses all the undead.
Okay,
Revenant is undead.
got it. Zombie
cool
undead.
world.
Revenant.
Revenant.
Yeah,
It's a cool word.
Isn't that a movie? Revenant.
I think so.
But is that?
The Revenant?
The Revenant, is that the one with Leonardo DiCaprio?
Oh, no, I'm gonna look.
But I don't think that's right. But
I don't know if
because
that's right.
that's like Revenant. I know that's the name of a movie. I swear to God.
No, I know it is too. Except I'm thinking like
it
Keanu
is.
Reeves.
No, it's Leonardo DiCaprio.
Is it?
But okay, so maybe that confuses me. I've seen the
That's
movie.
the Western one.
Yeah, no, not the Western one. This is the one where he is.
While exploring uncharted wilderness in 1823.
Okay, I'm thinking of a different Western one then. That from what you were thinking. I know this, but I thought you were talking about the one where they're like, oh, I guess it's not Western. Like in the South, and they're like, it's really bloody and everyone dies, and
Sounds enthralling.
Tex knows what it is. He would know.
Squirrel.
Anyways,
Yeah.
But there's another one that he's in that is what I thought you meant when you said that.
There's a bear scene in The Revenant.
Yeah, that one.
But I
yes.
wonder if it's called that as kind of like an analogy for you get through every time. So these revenants were said to return from the grave to haunt the living, often driven by an insatiable thirst for blood. Spanish folklore contributed tales of El Vampiro, a creature that was in the shadows preying on the unsuspecting.
Ooh.
I'm not going to talk much about I'll talk more about Vlad the Impaler another time, but that's like
Who's Vlad the Impaler?
Are you fucking kidding me?
No.
The original Dracula, like the actual guy that Bram Stoker
I don't know if you remember this. Did we do a vampire episode at the very beginning of the podcast? Like one of our first few episodes, was it vampire?
werewolves.
But we did something with vampires because this came up. And you had the same reaction, and nothing has changed since then,
Nothing has
Megan.
changed.
It's been 2 years. Nothing has changed.
Nothing's changed.
I still
All right.
haven't seen it.
Fair.
Still don't know. Still, every time you say those actors' names, don't know who the fuck you're talking about. I mean, now I kind of do because I Googled.
We'll get to it. We'll get there. I'll get you there. So New Orleans is unique among American cities because it has a deep connection to death, mysticism, folklore, the city's history of plague, war, voodoo practices. It really creates a really good environment for that dark, macabre, and almost romantic.
It
you know?
is, though, when you walk down the streets there, it is. There's like a romantic feel, like the architecture, very
Right?
romantic, and like some of the cobblestone streets and all that. And then,
And I think it has to do with everything colliding in this one area.
I mean, there's so much there. Just the energy there is just wild. But then don't go there in July. The smell of the vomit in the streets
Really?
is I photographed a wedding there in July, and it was we woke up hungover the next day after the wedding because we went out after we shot it, and I walking the streets so hungover, the smell, and you're just in this humid. It was the
humidity.
the
humidity.
and then the smell of garbage, vomit, just
Oh, that
horse
sounds
shit
terrible.
because they ride their horses down the like it's blah, blah, blah.
That does sound terrible.
I went back in December, and that was a better time to go.
I feel like the colder months for us would be better to go to New Orleans.
Much better to go to New Orleans, yeah.
Ugh. So other things that could have led to vampires, we have the Spanish and French influence. There's the yellow fever epidemics. And throughout the 18th and 19th centuries, there was waves of yellow fever that devastated New Orleans. And it literally left entire families dead overnight.
Wasn't that like we did an episode where, oh God, what was it? Where
Mercy Brown?
Yes, where they thought it was vampires.
New England vampires.
Oh, that's
see,
I knew we did something on
right,
vampires.
You're right. New
there
England
it
vampires.
Is. There she is. God, we've done, and the fact that I even remember this is wild because we do so many fucking episodes. But yeah, because they went through the whole thing of like what they would do to ensure someone was
dead.
Yeah, and they couldn't come back alive as a vampire.
Like some would flip them upside down.
And they'd like cut off their legs.
Yeah,
and
like
move
put them on a cross.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, or bend the legs backwards so they couldn't stand up. Different things like that. The earliest recorded account of vampire-like creatures was written in Old Russian in 1047 AD, soon after Orthodox Christianity moved to Eastern Europe. The term for vampire was upir, U-P-I-R, appear, and no one quite knows the origins of that. It could possibly mean the thing at feasts or the thing that feasts or sacrificed. So nobody quite knows
where it came from.
But
that's a long time ago. For that to be like the origin, that's a long time ago.
It could have referenced a potentially dangerous spirit or entity that people thought could appear at rituals for the dead. And the word could be a euphemism. I got there. Euphemism.
Good job.
Euphemism.
I don't know that I could have.
Euphemism.
Euphemism.
Nope. That's the one.
Let me read it.
Euphemism.
Euphemism. There it is. I have to.
Feminism.
Fem.
Yeah.
Euphemism.
There you go.
Euphemism. There we go. I mean, I know what that word is, but I don't ever say it for reasons.
So it could be a word used to avoid saying dangerous or evil creatures out loud because they thought if you said it out loud, you would be, inviting it in.
Right.
So they use a different word that they created.
Okay.
Umpire.
Yeah.
Instead of vampire or vampire or whatever it would have been at the time. One disease in particular that is often the cause for vampirism was rabies. That was one we haven't talked about before. Because victims would seemingly go mad.
Yeah.
And rabies is the Latin term for madness.
Okay.
Why are you laughing?
Because this is a stupid TikTok that has to do with rabies, but I don't want to derail us again. But if you want me to, I will because it's really fucking funny.
Derail.
Okay. There's a husband and wife, and the mom they're sitting there at the kitchen counter, and they always do these videos where they like eat like a dessert after their kids go to bed and talk about stupid shit their kids have done that day. And she goes, I want to know why our youngest child asked me why I had rabies.
I've seen this.
And he's like, what? And he goes, she said that she asked you why mommy's foam at the mouth, or what was it?
I don't remember.
Oh my God, now it's going to fucking kill me.
It wasn't rabies though. What was it?
No, it was babies.
Babies.
And they said, why mommies scream when they have... Hang on. I'm just going to play it because it's funny, and then we'll move on. We can cut it if we need to. It's like one of the first things that pops up when you type in his name. Okay.
Rabies.
A 6-year-old was trying to understand why they think I was foaming at the mouth.
She said, does it hurt when you have rabies? Did she say babies?
Oh my God.
Classic mix-up.
That's amazing. So rabies is one of the oldest recognized diseases on the planet, which is wild to me. And it's transmitted often by bites.
Weird.
From animals to humans.
You mean like when I got bit by a dog earlier this year and then I got really sick and I went to the ER up on a ski mountain and I made my mom come with me and the ER lady asked me what's going on and my mom goes, well, I think she has rabies. or a blood infection. And the lady's like, I don't think we can treat that. And I was like, Mom, what the fuck? I was like, oh.
I see your mom saying that though, because your mom's a very classy lady. And I could see her just sitting there like very properly. Well, I think she has rabies.
I was so sick. I couldn't talk. I just felt like shit. And I was like, Mom, can you just tell her what's going on? She goes, well, she got bit by a dog and we think she has rabies or a blood infection. And I was like, what? No, I don't have either. I think I was like, I can't remember. I thought I had a lung infection. I thought I had pneumonia.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, Mom.
Rabies, pneumonia, potato.
No, I did not
That's
have
really
rabies
funny.
for the record.
There's other diseases like tuberculosis, which we've talked
Yes.
about. And then there's one called pellagra, which it's the same thing. It's sensitivity to light, pale, corpse-like looking skin.
Ooh, was that like where the plague comes from? Like the term plague? You
I
said
don't think so.
pellagra?
Mm-mm.
Pellagra? Hmm.
Different.
Okay.
Like the Black Plague.
The black lung.
So Vlad the Impaler was the inspiration later for vampire lore, like Bram Stoker and stuff like that. And I kind of want to go into him more around like Halloween time. I
Yeah.
think that would be really cool, like how we got the modern vampire. But the Casket Girls is one of the earliest vampire legends in New Orleans, and it centers around Les Filles à la Casquette, or the Casket Girls. So I'm gonna read because there's already some beautifully written stories out there. So I'm just gonna read you the story of the Casket Girls.
I love it.
And I first saw the Casket Girls on your favorite, the Tiki Talk.
My favorite, the good old TikTok.
The good old TikTok.
Tiki-talkie.
So the Casket Girls are a very famous story in New Orleans, a very famous vampire story in New Orleans. And it's like with everything else, the folklore is weaved in with like reality, right? Like with truth. That's
how
what
we get all the
folklore
stories.
is,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, it's how everything comes to be.
Right. So all these men were being sent over to Biloxi, Mobile,
Alabama.
and
no.
New Orleans. New Orleans was very young at this point, but all these men were being sent over because women weren't explorers at the time. Like, women didn't come to establish.
Women had jobs.
Right.
Having babies.
Yes.
That was it.
Yes, but now
And being witches.
and being witches. Yes. Now the men were like, oh, well, we're just a bunch of men here, which I'm sure some of them were just fine with that.
We need a vagina.
But they need women to have babies, right?
Yeah.
Because the local churches were like, well, shoot, what about our Christian? What was the word I kept using?
Evangelical.
A Christian evangelism.
Evangelism.
They were worried about Christian evangelism.
Oh, dear Lord, sweet baby Jesus. Did
Christian
his manger.
evangelism.
What's the Talladega Nights?
Dear sweet baby Jesus in your golden manger with your little Jesus diaper. So the churches are like, well, okay, let's find some women. So they were looking for local women. Well, these local women were mostly from brothels in the area, and they're like, oh, you're not marriageable. You're not marriageable women.
Oh, they're not marriage-worthy.
Marriageable women. I mean, they probably just didn't put up with their shit.
Well,
is what it was.
Obviously.
Yes,
Yeah.
they didn't want to be moms.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't blame them.
They didn't want to put out for free.
Neither do I. Hand something back, okay? I'm not popping out kids for nothing.
So King Louis had a great idea. He was going to send eligible women, marriageable women to the New World, right?
How do they source these eligible women?
I don't know. They're French.
Enough said. Okay.
But a lot of these women were from like orphanages or convents.
So them were babies, where now would not be acceptable.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. And so they sent a bunch. They came into all three of these cities, and a group now known as the Casket Girls, then known as the Casket Girls, came into New Orleans.
Okay.
New Orleans.
NOLA.
Yes.
NOLA.
New Orleans.
I know. NOLA is how I know it.
NOLA?
NOLA. It's like
New
Orleans.
Orleans.
Like the slang. New Orleans. It's
Yeah.
like that's what we could like because my little sister went to college there. It was NOLA.
No, I'm not calling it NOLA.
Well, I'm just saying. I said NOLA. Jesus. Anyways, continue.
So these women came in, and they had these giant trunks with them, caskets, which casquette in French means cap, really, but it could also mean like luggage. So in some stories, they were called the luggage girls.
Oh.
But casquette turned into casket because they had these giant, heavy trunks
like
with
wooden
them
trunks
that they came over.
So they weren't carrying dead bodies with them. It was actually just their belongings. It's different. Oh, you never know. Never say never.
So
okay.
this stuff was filled with their belongings, and they had their dowry or like a hope chest type thing.
Well,
in
probably
them.
everything that they owned,
Right.
especially if they're coming from an orphanage.
But the trunks mainly had like a dowry / hope chest, like things for marriage and
because they have to
stuff
pay the men
like
after they marry them.
Obviously.
Okay.
So they came in, and the Ursuline nuns, they had a convent there, the Ursuline convent, and they came in, they're like, we're going to take these girls, we're going to keep them safe until they get married, we're going to find them good, eligible husbands,
of course,
blah, blah, blah. I can just picture them like lining up these poor young girls and be like, which one would you like?
Well, it's like, I know you haven't been to Disneyland, but you see it in kind of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, but in Disneyland it used to be, they've changed it now, that in part of the ride, they have the women lined up for like the men to choose from.
Oh.
And they changed it on the ride, but the OG version.
Really?
Yeah, they would have the women lined up for like the men to choose
That's
from.
so icky. That's so
But that was like,
gross.
but they've
But
changed it
yeah.
in modern day. But I mean, to the point, this was not that long ago. Like I want to say in the last 10 years.
you remember it.
I remember it as like at least a 21, 22. I think even when I was pregnant with Kinley, we went there and I was like 26 and it was still a thing. And it was women lined up where men got to choose. And they're like catcalling and all that stuff. And they've obviously changed it now. Isn't that weird?
That's so gross. So the women came in, the Ursuline nuns were going to house them and, keep them proper, keep an eye on them, make sure they stayed marriageable. And as the women were traveling from the docks to the convent, the men noticed, and the people in town noticed that they were very pale and almost like gaunt.
Okay.
Right? Like they just looked sickly. Now, granted, how many months were they just on a ship?
Right.
From France.
Probably a while.
Probably a while. You're not
we're about to book a flight there, and I'm like, it's like
you're probably going to look a little gaunt when you get off that flight.
You got some scurvy going on or something. I mean,
yeah. So they took notice of that, and so the women went into the convent.
They were too skinny,
and then you're too fat, and then you're too loud.
Now you're
quiet.
you're too tan. Shut up.
Pretty much.
Shut up.
So they go to the convent. The Ursuline nuns are taking care of them because this wasn't uncommon for nuns to do. Keep young ladies in order and all this stuff. Yep. And they decided to put them up in the 3rd floor of the convent. So they got their trunks all up there and we're going on with life. Some of them were married off. Men would come and visit them. But these women, like, they couldn't go out in the sun. Like, they would just start blistering.
Were they sparkling?
I didn't read anything about them sparkling. But you know what?
So they weren't a Cullen.
They could have been.
You never know.
They
never say never.
Never say never.
Okay.
So they would stay like under awnings or umbrellas, and so that just made them paler and paler, right? They weren't in that southern sun.
In the Asian culture, that is like you want to be as pale as you can be.
That's true.
That we're here, it's not. Well, for a long time, it wasn't.
No.
Ask my 21st birthday pictures where I went to Hawaii and then I got a spray tan after, and
Can you
literally
please post those.
Oh my God, you
please.
It's so
It's
bad. I was
wonderful.
You've seen.
It's
I am
so,
straight
yes.
up Oompa Loompa.
You were. I remember seeing.
I look like
wait,
Snooki.
that's you.
I look like Snooki, but
You do.
oranger, like dirtier. Like I look like I rolled in dirt.
It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny.
gonna-
You were like this color of your light right now.
Yeah, a little bit. Very orange. That's actually
Loompa.
that's being polite. Anyway, so okay.
And then people noticed that people were dying around this convent. But it was also, a young city. People died. You were a dock town.
Especially like during this time, like diseases would come in. Things,
but it was like around this convent area. So we got to keep these ladies even safer, right? So the
keep
men
them safe because people are dying.
because
so
people
keep
are
them
dying.
Safe. Okay.
Yeah. So the men would come around and get to know the girls a little bit, and they were weird. That's how everyone said.
The men were weird?
No, the
Oh, the
women.
women.
They said there was something about them that was off.
Ooh.
Okay. So, we're going on. Well, the women didn't like any of these men, and the men were being rude to the women, and the nuns noticed this. Okay.
Yeah.
So they tell the king. The king is like, "Well, I don't like this.
Right.
I don't like this.
Like, don't treat them badly. We
I
sent
sent them to you.
Yeah, take
blah,
care
blah,
of
blah.
them.
And so the king's like, fine, send them back. Send them home.
Okay.
Send them home. Now, the nuns were preparing the girls to go back home, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, some of them had been married off, but some of them had disappeared, like really suspiciously. And so they're getting the rest
Like
of
the
these...
married off women just disappeared?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and some of them went into prostitution, which is also what the king did not like.
Right.
So,
right. They didn't come from that. So like,
right.
Yeah.
Right. So
They already tried that. Didn't work out.
So they went to pack up these girls and get their trunks, which some of their belongings were used, but these were supposed to have their marriage items in it, right?
Yeah.
The trunks were empty.
Completely empty.
The trunks were empty.
Huh.
But they were so heavy
It didn't make sense.
when they came in.
Okay.
And they weren't really used. They had their personal items and then the trunks were put away until they got married.
Yeah.
The trunks were empty.
They're supposed to have their dowry and whatever in them. And okay. All right.
So the nuns automatically went, this is paranormal shit. Just like that. Just like that.
Because back then you could be religious and accuse paranormal shit because they probably saw it all the time.
Probably.
Just saying.
But then some of the women went missing and they couldn't send them back to France.
So they just disappeared.
Yep. And so the nuns were like, screw this. They nailed the 3rd floor shut. They sealed off the door. They shuttered off all the windows, completely nailed them.
Wait, was there anyone inside or no?
There's no, who knows?
They haven't said. So you don't know. They could have nailed women in there. They could have.
They could have.
But we don't know.
But we don't know.
Huh.
But whatever was up there was so disturbing that the freaking Pope, blessed nails, sent them from Rome to nail close the shutters and door.
Holy shit.
And
So
the
they
Pope recently, like, I believe it was 1987.
That is the year of my birth.
It is.
That's like recent.
Re-blessed them.
Okay. So something else went on.
Something went on, and the Catholic Church
Sent,
is aware.
and they sent stuff to.
Is aware. And it's still sealed today. You can go to the Ursuline convent. Like, they have weddings and stuff there. But
Yeah.
if you, and you can't go to the third floor, obviously, because it's sealed shut. But if you look up, you see the shutters.
But the
And
fact
it's
that
nailed
something
shut.
in 1987 they redid it.
They re-blessed it.
Because when was this? Like early 1900s?
This was the 1700s.
Oh,
This was a long time ago.
But, okay,
But
so-
nobody goes up there.
But the fact that in the 80s they sent
It's been sealed,
The Pope-
and that's it.
resealed it, something happened.
In the 1970s, there were 2 paranormal investigators that tried to go and investigate the Ursuline convent.
Uh-huh.
The nuns kicked them out. They're like, get out of here. We
Yeah.
don't want you here. So they camped out on the sidewalk outside,
Yeah.
and they were backs turned, and they heard something on the 3rd floor, and they look up and the shutters are opening. Well, they're supposed to be nailed shut. And there's some stories where like a mist came in, and there's some stories where you don't know. There's some stories that say the footage of what they were, taking pictures of or whatever is around. Some saying it isn't.
Right.
But these men, this was like it was like after midnight. The men were found dead on the sidewalk, filleted open in the morning with not a drop of blood to be found. And the shutters were all closed.
Filleted open.
Filleted.
That means like cut,
Like-
bellied up. What the fuck?
And blood gone. No blood. There was no blood.
So they're vampires.
There
Or
were
something.
vampires.
There's something
Were they vampires, or did they bring over vampires? Were
Ooh, in their-
the trunks?
in their caskets.
And were they gaunt women and a little off because they were the
They were like, they were keeping it alive.
feeders, feedies?
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Whoa.
So some say that this is when vampires were brought into New Orleans, was through the Casket Girls.
Okay.
Now, there's more to the story that's not paranormal, but it's pretty amazing.
Which
the
is?
women who were married off were pissed off at these men, okay?
Obviously.
Because these men would go off and be gone all day and then just come home and want some, and not build them a home, not help with a garden, not do anything that these women, one, were brought up to keep a
Right.
home,
Yeah.
right? But they needed a home to keep,
yeah.
right?
Right.
So they had the what is it when you go on the petticoat strike. It was called the petticoat strike.
yeah.
They're like, we're not putting out unless you give us a home and you help out in the home, and it worked.
I love that so much. It's a petticoat stripe. Like,
The-
bitch,
the
you
petty-
better do
yeah.
something or you're
Uh-huh.
getting nothing.
Exactly.
I mean,
The petticoat strike.
I'm not
Yeah.
saying as a woman that you know that works, but I do feel like it works sometimes.
I feel like it would work, especially back then when that's literally what these women were brought there for.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's the story of the Casket Girls.
Holy shit.
That's a good one.
That
I
is a
like
good-
that
but
one.
also, like, that would make sense. Like, now you're saying that they maybe brought over the
Could they be the ones that brought over?
vampires over.
And we're going to talk a little bit about Comte Saint Germain, and he could have had a lot to do with vampires coming over. But this is one story that I just
I
love.
love that.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And you can go to the convent. You can still go to the convent. Like
so
I said,
when we
they
go
have,
to New Orleans, we're going. Obviously.
yeah,
Okay.
100%.
So
Can't go up
good.
to the 3rd floor, but I'm going to try.
We'll stand outside. I'll bring my dowsing rods and we'll stand there with our spirit boxes on our phones, and we're gonna find out.
But give it a good, give it a TikTok. You'll find a
Ooh,
lot of
on
videos
TikTok?
On TikTok, a lot of videos and a lot of stories
I mean,
and
you
a
know
lot.
I love my
I know you
TikToking.
love your TikTok.
I do.
I'm going to change your FYP for the better.
I mean, I'm down.
But yeah, that's the story of the Casket Girls. That one's a
Holy
pretty
shit,
cool one.
that
That's
is a
my
good
favorite one. That
No,
we're
I
gonna tell
love
tonight.
that.
Yeah.
I love it.
So now we're going to talk about Saint Germain, Count Saint Germain, and he traveled around a lot and didn't stay in one place for too long.
Uh-huh.
And he arrived in New Orleans. His last and final death, maybe, ended up in New Orleans in the early 1900s.
His last and final death. Died multiple times.
Multiple times.
Oh,
He's
dear.
not dead yet. He was referred to as the man who could not die. And he was said to be a very eccentric person, and he had high up friendships and all that stuff. Yes. So he was said to have possibly died for the last time in the early 1900s. And this legend of him became an inspiration for Anne Rice's character of Louis in Interview for a Vampire.
Okay.
So there was talk around the French Quarter of a man who was said to be a direct descendant of Comte du Saint-Germain and the former assistant to King Louis the
The a what? Just it doesn't matter.
15th.
Okay.
15th.
Wow, good job.
So New Orleans thought that this guy that came in and said that, oh, I'm a direct descendant, they thought this was kind of weird. And in his home, he introduced himself as Jacques Saint-Germain. Jacques, not Jack. Jacques Saint-Germain.
You can do it.
Germain, and lived at 1039 Royal Street. He would have lavish parties, but he never ate anything at his parties. Instead, he would sit in the back and drink what appeared to be red wine from an ornate chalice and would just watch the partygoers.
Him's a vampire.
Like his predecessor, Jacques would sit there and tell stories to anybody who would listen of his travels, and he would put in such fine detail of every little thing that he did.
I do believe that this character is one of the vampire stories that I have heard on the TikTok about.
Comte Saint-Germain?
Uh-huh.
Probably.
I feel like because he's a legend, like, I mean, there's like years and years, like, I mean,
this guy just was around.
Yeah, and did all kinds of insane shit. And people are like, none of it makes sense.
He was a vampire.
Well, that makes sense.
In 1903, a woman attended one of his very classy parties and ended up finding herself out on his balcony. She was injured, possibly drunk, and terrified. She ran out and rambled on to whoever she could find about an attack of a vampire, Saint Germain, who had bitten her in the neck. She finally found the police, told them what happened, and they went to investigate the party and those other people who were there and wanted to know, how did this woman have injuries on her neck? They thought that the woman was a rumored prostitute, was delusional from drunkenness.
It was clearly the lunatic soup. It was the lunatic soup.
This was a reasonable explanation, and they didn't want to bother Saint Germain with questions at such a late hour.
It makes sense. He was probably hanging upside down by the rafters.
We see you up there. You're fine. Don't want to interrupt. So Saint Germain agreed that he would come and visit the police station in the morning for questioning because, he needed his beauty sleep.
Obviously.
Saint Germain never showed up.
Because he was sleeping.
I mean, yeah.
Obviously, he can't be in the light of day. He doesn't want to die.
He vanished. He left all of his belongings in his Royal Street home. And story goes that when the police broke into his home to search for evidence in lieu of questioning, they found a collection of open wine bottles containing human blood.
How do they know it was human?
I mean, it was 1900.
What, they test it? How do you know the difference between animal
how
blood?
do they know it's human blood versus like pig blood?
Exactly. They didn't. But
I don't know.
could have been pig blood. Could have been human blood.
Could have been
Clearly
cow blood.
irrelevant. It was blood.
Chicken blood.
It was blood. Blood. That was
Blood.
That's an old TikTok, YouTube, whatever. Blood. Do you remember that? I don't remember it either, but I know it from. Never mind. Anyways.
So stories of Comte Saint-Germain and Jacques Saint-Germain are kind of very similar. Like the Comte lived this lavish lifestyle, and it kind of just kept reincarnating into different people.
Yep.
Like, but was it the same person? Was it different people? Is he dead? Is he still alive? Nobody knows.
I think he's still alive. According to the TikTok, he is.
Yeah?
I'm serious. That's now I'm going to find
Comte
it.
Saint-Germain?
Yeah, but they're saying he has reinvented himself over and over again. I'm telling you, that was one of the TikToks I got on.
I need to get on that TikTok. That's the TikTok
the next time I
need to
see
get
it, I
on.
will send it to you.
Well, next we have the Carter brothers. And this is wild too, because this is in 1932.
Okay.
This one.
32. Okay.
So one day in 1932, some say it was 1934, so around that time, let's say the mid-1930s, right?
I mean, that's a 2 years difference, so we'll go 1933. Cut it
in half?
Cut it in half, yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to go 1933.
Yeah.
Right down the middle.
I like it. That works for me. So a young girl escaped from a house shared by brothers John and Wayne Carter, and she made her way down the street, also Royal Street.
Ooh.
A New Orleans police officer stopped her and listened to her story. Supposedly, she and others were tied up in the Carter home so the pair could drink their blood. The girl had her wrist cut to enable long, slow bleeding, and depending on the report, she either offered to take the officer back to the former prison where she was held, on the corner of Royal and St. Anne Street or she was rushed to the hospital. Like, that street.
I'm
Like,
very aware. I photographed like that was like one of the places the bride, when I photographed her wedding, she wanted the photos in front of that, so we had to do this huge thing. She had a huge bridal party. We had to shut the street. Basically, like, we had to do it. People were honking at us, but that now has like ferns hanging over the sides.
Oh, that would be pretty.
But it's a beautiful building. But you fucking
French Quarter area.
yeah, but it's haunted as fuck around there. So I mean, every place is there.
So the police did make it back to the Carter home to investigate the girl's claims of vampire in the French Quarter, which she didn't really say that, but what she was describing was
a vampire.
Police went to the Carter home and found the residents were absent. So they broke in, and they allegedly found upwards of a dozen bodies with wrists slit and blood drained. There were also at least 4 captives still tied up to chairs with bandaged but bleeding wrists. Some bodies were wrapped in sheets, and all appeared as though they'd been there for many days.
Ugh.
The Carter brothers were nonchalantly working at a dock job. They didn't seem worried about their victims escaping or anything like that. So the police decided that they were going to wait for the brothers' apartment for them to return home and then apprehend them. So some sources say that police left 10 of their largest officers in the Carter apartment to take on the criminals, the vampires, when they returned from the docks to feed. And apparently the brothers worked from pre-dawn to dusk, removing the bandages from their captives' wrists and drinking their blood before wrapping them up again. When the brothers walked into the apartment that night, they took 7 or 8 police officers to subdue them. 2 average-sized men.
Superhuman strength.
Mm-hmm. Other versions of the story say that the brothers, each standing 5 feet 6 inches and weighing 160 pounds, did fight off 4 of the officers and leapt from the balcony unharmed. The 2 bolted into the night, never to be seen again.
They're definitely vampires, especially Twilight version, man, because they jump and they run fast and they superhuman strength.
So another version of the story said that they made the mistake of keeping their everyday routine and they showed up for work the next day and the police arrested them there.
But then they escaped.
No, it says that as soon as they were in handcuffs, the Carter brothers, admitted to being vampires. And they asked the police to go ahead and kill them because they would continue capturing people and drinking their blood.
But how did they kill them? Don't you have to stake to the heart?
I don't
Or
think
is that
it's
just
that complicated.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer status?
So the police, they determined that they were in fact human. They were just kind of cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Oh, okay.
And they were found guilty of murder, but that didn't stop the story of the Carter brothers and more stories and folklore.
But why the fuck do they have people with their wrists?
They were drinking their blood.
They
They were doing that.
But they weren't real vampires? Well, but how do
What's
they
a
actually
real
know?
vampire?
Yeah, how do they know?
They
Yeah,
don't.
that's it.
But what's a real vampire?
I don't know. Someone who drinks. I don't know. Do you want to know what I think?
What do you think?
I think it's aliens.
It's always aliens with you.
It is. But what is an alien? Something that's another dimensional something that comes and they,
So do you think they're like a beyond the ice wall from a different world?
They could be. Yeah, but there's some, or they beyond the ice wall, under the ocean, coming in through portals. Something, they come in, they drink our blood because that gives them superhuman power, and then they go back to wherever they came from. Maybe they'll live here for a little while, fuck around and find out,
Well, interestingly enough,
Oh, shut up, am I right?
well, not about that.
Oh.
But vampires of New Orleans, they're more than just legend. There is a complete subculture of people who claim to be real vampires. There's a real vampire community. Individuals who identify as vampire and need to consume human blood for energy to live, to maintain their well-being. There's the New Orleans Vampire Association that was founded in 2005, and it is an organization identified for self-identified vampires focused on community support and education.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
I'm unsure. So where do they get the human blood from?
People volunteer. This is a real thing.
I believe
This
you.
is a real thing.
That's disturbing. I'm going to squirrel out for a second. It's not squirrel, but yeah. because have you ever seen the show on Netflix, Love on the Spectrum?
Yes.
You know, the couple, for anybody who doesn't know, this is basically a show about people with autism or Down syndrome who are dating. And in season 2, there's this main couple, Abby, and her boyfriend, I can't remember his name, but they're obsessed with like lions and they go to Africa. Do you know who Abby is?
No. Mm-mm.
Oh, she's on TikTok. That's how I found out about
Well,
her.
I
and she
haven't
was on
seen.
the
I
show.
know of the show. I haven't seen the show.
Oh, it is so good. Anyways, point of the story is on TikTok last night, it came up a section of their show where they were in Africa and they were meeting an African tribe. And the African tribe was like, they were like, so what do you guys eat? And they were like, we eat blood. But they were talking like animal blood, like they use it for like cooking and doing whatever. And it was the most hilarious communication between these two very autistic people, like
Just
this
couldn't
couple
understand.
who couldn't understand. And he's like, oh, you're like Count Dracula, to a guy, to
Who'd
these
never
tribe,
heard of
African
Dracula
tribal
before.
guys. And it was the funniest shit. I was like, so then I had to go turn the second season on because I was like, I need to watch this in real life. And then I fell asleep and didn't get to see it. But it was pretty funny. I was dying. I was like, well, just, he was thinking Count Dracula.
Yeah, I mean, why
and
not?
the African tribe is like, yeah, we eat blood and blood thing. I don't know what they were. It was,
Blech.
but good for them.
But yeah, no, and the New Orleans Vampire Association helps to.
Is it Nova, New Orleans? Yeah, Nova. The
Yeah, Nova. They help people connect with donors. This is a real thing. I actually watched a show on it, and there are people, and what they do, it's not like bite your neck or whatever. They're very. I mean, I'm sure there's some people that do it the old-fashioned way, but like the show I watched, like they literally come in. The donor comes in, they cut a little piece on their back, and they suck the blood out.
I mean, I'm sure the donor obviously has some kinks they need, and then the person drinking it, but like, oh, what a risk.
What a risk. I mean, well, yes, there has to be some sort of testing involved. There has to be, because blood is poison. Like, it can be poison, right?
I would, yeah.
But they host all of these community events. They have an endless night vampire ball that is held annually in New Orleans on Halloween weekend. And it attracts vampires, goths, and other macabre enthusiasts from around the world. They wear elaborate costumes, performances, and rituals.
Do they sacrifice? Oh my God. This also reminds me of another thing that I saw that was the most fucking scarring thing of my life. This girl was on a podcast. This was real fucking life. And she was a part of a family who practiced Satanism, satanic, whatever it is, when you believe in Satan. And that's like, she was part of a satanic cult growing up.
Okay. Not to get confused with the Church of Satan, because they're atheists.
Okay, no. This was
like
a
an actual
satanic cult.
Okay. Like they worship Satan.
They worship Satan and sacrificed people and things, as in, like, she is on this podcast.
No, I saw a show, and no, I saw this. I may have seen clips of the podcast where like,
on
they
TikTok,
ate somebody.
Yes, they made her be friends with him
First. Yes,
and
and
then
she's
she
like-
had to kill him, but then she refused. So someone else in her family killed him, and then they had to eat him.
And she was like, I was grateful that they cooked him first.
Yes. But you saw it too.
Yes.
Yeah, this was like on a podcast. This girl was real life talking, and I was like, what the fuck? She was raised in a satanic cult. So much shit goes on that we don't even realize. Us, like...
Well, and we know this because we had one of our... Nikki, who was on here.
Yeah.
We were
yeah.
talking about some of her just family experiences.
Nikki,
and
the
things like
medium,
that.
you guys, who's amazing.
Just amazing.
She gave us some simmer pots, and she's the best.
Yeah.
She had some balls with us.
She had some balls. She had some balls. But she was talking about just some things that, happen in our community that we don't know about. I'm like, well, why wasn't that on the news? This shit doesn't go on the news.
Sometimes things don't make it.
Like, why?
Yeah. What?
Like drippy people.
I
Like
know, it's
dead,
terrifying.
drippy people.
Dead, drippy people. Blech.
Like, what?
I know. It's wild.
We
We live in a wild place.
We do live in a wild place, and I don't understand, and I want to hermit some more.
We're not doing it, though. I'm not going to let you. I know. I won't let you.
Run. I want to run.
You cannot.
So vampirism and vampire culture is huge in New Orleans and other places, but mainly New Orleans.
Yeah.
The allure of vampires is just part of New Orleans at this
It
point.
is the bars there. They have so many vampire bars.
And that like vampire tourism is a thing.
Oh, 1000%.
It's a thing there, which I would eat that shit up.
I know you would. I would love to do
love
it with
it.
you. We would have so much fun.
Yeah, and people go there for the haunted history of New Orleans anyway. But
Oh, yeah.
then you add in all these other things. I want to go so bad.
I want to take you to the vampire bar where it's like
I want to go to a vampire bar.
I mean,
I'm not sucking blood.
No, it's not that kind of. I got a Red Bull cocktail for the record. It was not a vampire. I wasn't drinking blood.
You don't want to drink blood.
No, I did not. But I did go in there and get us cocktails. But we took pictures of the bride out in front of it the first time I was there, and then the last time when I was there with like my siblings for my sister's college, whatever, medical school graduation, we made the kids sit outside because they couldn't go into the bar, and I got us cocktails. Walk down the street and drink them.
That's wild.
It's so fun.
That's wild. But there's vampire tourism there. There's a bunch of tour companies that have like vampire themed tours in the French Quarter and other historic areas in New Orleans. And this to me is the coolest thing because these tours, they blend history with legend. And that is my jam, if you haven't noticed.
I think I figured it
Did
out.
you figure that out?
Think I did.
Did you like that?
I like it. I like it. I mean, it's entertaining to me.
So it talks about vampire stories and sightings. I mean, if we find Louis while we're there, I'm fine with that.
Good luck.
Yeah.
But I hope you do.
Early 90s Brad Pitt.
I think, unfortunately, you're going to find mainly like drunk college men. A bunch of drunk idiots is what you might encounter. Unless you are doing, I don't know, where you're going to go find...
Or the people who think like pretend to be. No, that's not, these people like they identify as vampires, right?
Yeah. I mean, they must hang out somewhere. I obviously was not around where they hang out. We were on like Bourbon Street and all of the drunken areas, but which is a lot of New Orleans.
Like, I don't think I'm lucky enough to find a suave vampire.
I don't think you are. But
Like-
maybe. You never know. You can manifest that
Like
shit.
Comte Saint Germain.
Yeah, you could try.
I could try.
You never know. Never say never.
But do you really want that, or is it just the thought of it?
Well, I don't want that. That's a question for you. I'm solid
I don't want.
over here.
I don't want to meet somebody who identifies as a vampire.
Yeah, no, me
I
either.
want to meet somebody who is.
A vampire.
I want to meet a vampire.
It's like you don't want to meet someone who identifies as a cat. You just would like a cat.
We might
a
have
furry?
to cut that. We might have to cut that.
Why?
I don't know. People get offended by that.
I don't fucking
Like
care.
real offended by that.
Someone who identifies as a cat?
Yes. We just dealt with that in the school.
I can't.
For reals. Oh, I got to tell you all that.
I can't
oh
wait
my
to hear.
God.
I can't wait.
Oh my God.
But I get what you're saying. You want someone who is like a real vampire, but also here's the thing.
I want to question it.
Okay.
I want to have an interaction.
Yeah.
Right? And I want to walk away questioning, was this a paranormal being?
Okay. So let's say
You know what I mean?
But you just would like to encounter them. That's
Oh,
what you're saying.
encounter.
Oh, just encounter. I thought you were saying
Encounter.
like be
Like-
with one, and I was like,
No,
look
no,
here,
no,
Megan.
no.
They're
No.
gonna party all night and sleep all day. That is not your jam.
That is not me. I am in bed by 8:30 p.m. Let's be real. It's
Do
more
not
like 8
text
o'clock.
Meg after 8:30. If she responds after 9, I am shocked. I am shooketh.
My phone stops alerting me at 9 p.m.
I thought it was earlier than that, so maybe you just ignore me then.
No, I put
Fucking
my phone down.
offensive.
And I snuggle.
What's that like?
I snuggle my little one.
I have my
She-
phone in my face until I basically fall asleep.
No, I can't do that. Oh my gosh.
No, I do that, and then I set it down and watch a TV show and fall asleep while I'm watching a TV show. Too much.
My littlest wants to snuggle at night.
Yeah,
And I can't say no.
obviously not.
Obviously not.
She's the tiniest.
Oh,
She just did kindergarten orientation.
Shut
I'm not
up,
saying it.
Raina.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I take it back.
It's been a hard week, everybody.
She's had a rough week, guys. Rough week. It was a really rough
And
week.
that was the least rough of it all.
It was a
So
rough
if
week.
I want to meet a vampire,
I'll let you meet a
I
vampire.
can meet a vampire. Okay?
Let's go to New Orleans. We're going to find you a vampire.
Yes.
And
I've also heard of people, like, there's a few stories in this area of people going in and meeting somebody, and it ended up, they think it was the Archangel Michael. I've heard that a lot,
Interesting.
too, on the same, like, TikTok
okay.
type thing. Like, there's lots of stories about that. So there's lots of stories of these paranormal.
I mean-
and I think that has to do a lot with the French and Spanish influence, mixing it with the native culture and then the Caribbean
There's
culture.
a lot in New
And
Orleans.
you know, you have the Haitian voodoo, which is the full-blown religion. We're going to talk a lot more about that in our zombie episode coming up.
Okay.
But
I just would love for you to get to New Orleans, to walk on the streets, because it is something that if you are someone who can feel energy, you're like,
I
this
can
place
feel it.
is electric. It
I
is
mean,
like,
you
fuck.
called me.
Yeah, I
you called me
FaceTimed you,
in
yeah.
front of
Madam God damn it.
Lori.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you could feel the energy just looking.
It made me want to, like, it made me emotional as far as not as, like, this is so cool, as far as, like, holy fuck.
But it gets something in your throat.
Yeah, yes. Like, it was a lot. It was a lot. And then we were there with my sister who was graduating medical school, and she had a few friends with them, and one of the girls was talking to me, and she goes, "You don't walk under that. You don't walk under the what do you call it? Balcony. You don't."
Why?
Because that's just like, that's what they say. You just don't do it. You don't walk. She's like, "We don't walk under that." It's like, you don't go
I'm gonna
near
do it.
The fuck? I'm gonna make Nikki yell at you.
She can yell at me all she wants. I had the wildest dream last night that I was in a haunted house, and just like it woke me up and my heart was beating.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
I mean, I always would have that dream. Did I tell you the dream that I would I had a lot, and then I do too many edibles now, so I stopped dreaming for a while. I didn't take an edible last night. I had crazy dreams, but where I would literally like antagonize a spirit. That was my dream. Was like antagonizing.
No, you didn't tell me
I've
this.
never told you this. I would literally I've had this dream so many times that it like messes me up. I would antagonize like a spirit to like, but it was always like a more evil kind of spirit feeling thing. But my dream was like antagonizing it, like being like kind of like Zach
Come at me, bro.
And this is well and truly before we were ever doing this podcast. This is like a constant dream I've had throughout my life, where like I knew something was there and I would antagonize
so many things
it.
to say about this. Like I have so many thoughts about this. That
I
we'll
would
have
be-
to go
I-
into another
it's funny
time.
'cause,
But I
yeah.
have like just my initial. Like I have so many like
Do you wanna say it or no? No.
goosebumpy thoughts about this.
Well, but it's like one of those things, and I also feel like it was me fighting my mediumship a little bit. Is like I think subconsciously that was
not just that, but I think it's like it's the universe saying like you're in charge here. You don't have to be afraid of these things. Like,
Yeah,
and
true.
it's taken
That's
me
true.
a while to get to that. I'm not afraid to go into a haunted house. Am I gonna have knee jerk reactions to things? Yes. Like
Yeah.
when I was touched that one time and I flipped my headphones
Uh-huh.
off. Yes. But I'm still gonna go in.
Well, but I'm getting there with that, and
you are.
But
You
it's-
really are. You've come a long
No,
way.
I've come a
in 2
long way,
years.
and this has helped me a lot, and like doing the podcast and doing all the things, and I feel like I'm starting to understand things. But I also, I mean, I don't know, but that's been a dream. But I do like really thinking about it, feel like that dream is like telling me like probably similar, like don't be so afraid of it. It's all
Like,
all in the
you've
same,
got
like
this.
it's there, but it would always be me like being like, show yourself to me, like I know you're here, like really like pushing this spirit to like or this
interesting.
entity or something. It's like a very common dream that I would have. And then like I said, I did every time I do edibles, you don't dream when you take
Really?
edibles, which apparently is really bad for you.
I love my dreams.
So I've stopped taking,
I love
I'm
dreaming.
trying-
I get so many messages from dreaming.
I don't like dreaming. Maybe that's why. Too many bad ones.
I fly a lot. I
Good for
love
you.
flying.
Good
I
for you.
love flying in my dreams. I fly all the time in my dreams. It's like my main jam.
I had a dream. I did a photo, or I was doing a maternity shoot for a client, and I curled her hair for her, and then she hated her hair, and she dumped water on it, and then she was wet for her maternity shoot, and then we were in a cemetery, and I was photographing her maternity photos in a cemetery.
I like it.
Well, I think it's because I took Jandis to a dog park thing that was right next to a cemetery.
I mean,
so,
probably true.
very weird. Anyways,
So, vampires, are they real?
yeah,
Do you think so?
I think
I think the New Orleans vampire is very, very different than your typical vampire monster. Like in our Mercy Brown, they were like a monster, right?
Right.
They
No,
would
no.
come and kill and take out a whole family, and then we found out it was tuberculosis. But the
Potato,
New
tomato.
Orleans vampires, like Comte Saint Germain,
Yeah.
like and even the casket girls, they were eligible young women,
Yeah.
or the Carter brothers, were they vampires? We don't know, but they were obviously they must have been attractive young men,
Right.
because all of these people were drawn to them, and that seems to be the main thing is people are drawn
to their energy
to
and then
your energy, and that's also a trait of vampirism is
being
energy,
charismatic energy.
but
like-
energy vampires, like they gain.
well,
and
we know that
I'm-
that's real.
we know that that's real because I will have interactions and I'll just be like drained. I will be completely drained.
That is,
and
if you are someone who hasn't realized this yet, if you are ever around a friend and by the time you leave them, you feel like and this is every single time, not just a one-off where they've had a rough time and you listen to them and are supportive. This is like a constant. Like when you leave them and you feel like your energy is dead, that is an energy vampire, and that is real. That
yes.
is real, and it is someone who's literal like spirit soul like sucks the life out of.
Well, I was with a friend last night. We had this discussion, my friend and I, when we went out last night. Like, because one of her friends was debating going to a mutual friend's party or something and was like, am I a bad person if I don't go? And we discussed, like, you got to ask yourself, how long is it going to take me to recover from this? And if it's more than a night's sleep, not worth it.
No, because some people just suck the energy out of you.
And it's just not worth it.
Nope.
It's just not worth it. Like, your energy is so precious, and what you choose to spend your time on is so precious. Because guess what? It's finite.
It is. But I think energy vampires are real. But I also, and I'm going to go back to this every single time, that anything that you believe and a society believes and that people believe enough can manifest. So, like, I think that
You're gonna love my next big episode. We have
can't
we have a wild, weird, and unknown, and some little episodes coming up. But I have a next big. I'm not even gonna tell you what it is because I don't want you to start thinking.
Okay, so don't look at the episode descriptions coming up.
Shit.
That document right there. Don't click that. Good news, I
Are
don't.
you looking at it? You're looking at it?
No, I leave it up so that whenever I upload the episode, it's just right there because it's easier. And then I have to go find the thing, so I leave it up. But I
Don't look at it.
I don't.
I've got some thoughts.
Do you know that I literally never do? I
know.
never know what's coming up.
Good.
But that's how I like it. Like, I do it on purpose because
Well,
I'm not.
no, I think that's great. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, some of my favorite podcasts are someone tells a story to someone else who has no idea.
I don't know what I'm walking into every single time.
I love it.
Just
And sometimes they're better than other. I feel like we've had a couple really good episodes, like with Calzheimer's Pub and Starvation Heights.
Starvation Heights was such a good one. I keep meaning to listen to it, and then I started
good.
it, and then I stopped. Well, because I was here for it.
I heard from my daughter's friend that it was pretty good.
Well, there you go.
There's a couple of them that are following us on Instagram.
Get out of here.
Get out.
But no, I think that I do believe in vampires, and I don't know. I feel like there's this very underground thing, and this goes back to like even celebrity shit of like how people get there. It has to do with like satanic shit. Has to do like and which is I feel like wait. Let me just finish my sentence. Let me finish it.
Okay, Mom. My mom used to say that all the time.
Well,
Can I finish my sentence?
I was saying, let me finish this before you me. Is that is that these are not the same things. That
Okay.
there are different versions of the same thing. Like there's a Yeti and a Sasquatch and a this and a that. There are
Okay.
different versions of vampires. And that
Okay.
does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, that is my theory. And that obviously there's like the Hollywood version of like literally I want to suck your blood.
I want to suck your blood. I do not drink wine.
But I mean, there is the whole there's the whole like political side of it where they like say that the higher up people like have you heard this? This is like kind of MAGA stuff. They say that like the higher up like political people like drink the blood of like children, and that's
Well, they say that Hillary Clinton
Yeah.
drinks adrenal gland.
yeah. Oh, it's adrenal
fluid
glands. That's what it is. But isn't
from-
that like same? It's like that's
yes,
vampire.
yes. So it's
That's what I'm
all
saying.
on this. No, I see what you're saying.
Yes, thank
it's
you.
all along the same
thing.
line.
Yeah,
But I mean, like, how many times have I said that? A rose by any other word would smell as sweet.
Exactly.
Like, it's all along the same thing. My thought is that the modern vampire, the Bram Stoker version of Count Dracula, which my heart, I have a giant poster of Bela Lugosi in my office as
do.
Count Dracula. And one time I was in a PTO meeting because I was PTO president. Don't tell anybody. It didn't last.
That's
long.
embarrassing.
Oh my God. I couldn't wait to get out of there. But I was in a meeting during the COVID time and someone says, "Hey, what are those creepy photos behind you? What's that creepy photo behind you?" And it was Bela Lugosi as Dracula. And I said, "Oh, that's just my grandpa."
The one that smells like Guinness. We drink Guinness. And Meg looks at me and she whispers, she goes, well, we posted it on Instagram. Maybe you've seen it, but she goes, it smells like my grandpa. And I was like, what? She goes, smells like my grandpa.
But my dad corrected me on this because I told him that story,
Uh-huh.
that now people think that Bela Lugosi is my grandpa, which I fucking wish.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
But he goes, actually, that would be more like your great grandpa. That would be more like my grandpa. I'm like, okay, fair.
That's getting way too technical for my brain.
But now it's like a thing. Like Bela Lugosi as Count Dracula is my grandfather. And
Well, I
his-
do love
His
that.
portrait is hanging up in my office. I mean, she didn't see the other side of it, which was
Frankenstein.
Frankenstein.
Yeah, I've seen
Like
it,
Boris
but-
Karloff's Frankenstein.
Yeah. I mean, same. What were
I
we
love
saying
it.
before this?
Oh, what was I saying before us? Oh,
I was
don't
like, this
think-
was going
this
somewhere,
was going
Meg.
somewhere. I don't think that exists.
No, I don't think so either.
You know, like that suave debonair.
No, I lied.
Edward Cullen.
I do think that it might.
Oh, maybe a suave debonair, but not like in a castle in Transylvania.
No,
with a
not
cape.
that. Not that. I think they're around. I think it's more Edward Cullen style. They're around everyday life. It's like very much more Twilight-esque. Like they're around. I don't think they glitter.
I'm hitting.
Say it, Bella. Say it.
Next movie night.
Oh my God, down. My oldest daughter is going to start reading the book. We were driving to school and somehow
George
we
has
started
been
talking
reading
about
it.
it.
He's reading
So
it.
I said to her, I was like, I got to get the book. I was like, do you know who probably has it? Meg.
Fuck yeah,
my
has
mom has
it.
it at her house too because I read it. But she was like, can I just do the audiobook? And I was like, no, you need a physical book to read. And I was like, or I'll get you the audiobook because I like audiobooks.
I'm a huge proponent of audio. Listening to audiobooks is reading.
Well, I think so too. There's just something about like when you do have like a book in your hand, like especially, I don't know, we're going to be traveling when you're laying on a beach and you're able to like open a book while you're sunbathing
Yes.
versus, but I also nowadays, I only ever do audiobooks.
I do only because I have so much going on and I clean or do laundry
That's what
or
I do.
whatever.
But I've said this before. I don't let myself listen to an audiobook unless I'm being productive.
Yeah, I don't just sit there and listen to an
Okay.
audiobook, to be fair. But if you do, that's fine.
Speaking of New Orleans and audiobooks,
Nolans.
Did
you read that? Oh,
So
Phantasma!
good.
Oh my God, I love
good. I
Phantasma.
just finished
Actually,
Phantasma.
Carrie told me last night that you finished it, and
Yes.
so we can talk about it now.
Yes. No, it was so good, you guys. And
Okay.
it also reminded me a lot of this because there was like
Out
vampire
of all
things. And
the shadow daddies out there,
you like him?
Salem.
What? What's his name?
I don't know. I know
No,
his real
but-
name is Salem.
Breckenridge, but
Bre.
God damn
Starts
it! I
with a
just finished the book
BR.
yesterday. It doesn't matter. Anyways, really good.
Yes.
Really good.
So good because I love fantasy as in Lord of the Rings.
yeah, but you like fantasy romance if it's modern day.
If it's modern day or I
You-
like Lord of the Rings, I liked ACOTAR,
Yeah, you
but
didn't
it's
love
hard. I didn't love it.
it. Yeah,
I loved Crescent City.
yeah, yeah. That was modern
I
day.
love Crescent City.
Yeah.
And I love the angels and demons and
Duh, that makes
know
I told you this. There's another Jennifer L. Armentrout one that you need to read though. That she's the one who did From Blood and Ash, which is my favorite series ever by far. She does a modern day one that I thought was fucking amazing. So
you'll have to send it to me.
I
One
will.
of my favorite books is Good
need-
Omens.
never done that one, but here's
It's basically the original demon and the original angel, and they live life together, and then they lose the Antichrist.
okay, but that's very similar. But this is kind of similar to the
Really?
Yeah, I need to send it to you. Point of the story: so for me, the time frame doesn't matter or the setting doesn't matter. It's just like how the story is told and the characters and the character building and world building and that kind of stuff. Like to me, it's irrelevant of whether it's like now times or in another dimension that I don't understand because it's never like I don't know.
Yeah, I'm looking up the male character from Phantasma. What the tall Blackwell.
Well,
Blackwell. That's what
Blackwell,
it
there
was.
it is.
His name was Salem,
Yeah.
but he went by Blackwell
Blackwell.
until the very end.
and it was so good. you guys.
Super good. So that's Phantasma by
I have it if you don't. I just saw it. AKA, I have it in my Audible.
Kaylee Smith.
Yeah.
Phantasma
Really
by
good.
Kaylee Smith.
Now I'm doing the Spark of the Everflame, which is
Oh, so many people have told me about that.
Carrie did. I asked her for recommendations, and I was like, done.
See, I wish I could. I wish I had that many. It takes forever to get books on Libby.
Well, just log into my Audible.
Do you keep the books you get?
Yes, I
Oh.
buy them. I pay.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I pay $15.99 a month, and I get books. And I haven't downloaded a book because I went through a phase where I wasn't listening as much.
And the credits stack up?
Yeah, so now I only have 1 credit left, but I get 1 credit a month. But I had like 4, so I got a
We're
bunch.
snout.
I started doing the Mel. Well, probably cut this, but a bunch of this. But I did the Mel Robbins let them, you know.
Yeah.
But I got into it, started listening, and then I just couldn't do self help.
I think self-help I need to more read.
I have Audible or audio, but like I have to be in the right mood, and sometimes I'll turn it on and be there for it. But I just needed.
I have a book you need to. You need to read by Hillary.
Clinton.
No.
Oh.
Hillary Burton Morgan.
Uh-huh.
She married Jeff Morgan. He was Denny Duquette. Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Love Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Love Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Love his wife so much more. But she has a book called The Grimoire.
Oh, I feel like I've
something
heard
like
of this.
that. Something
Yeah.
like that. I ate that up. I ate that book up. It was so good. We're really spiraling
I know.
right now.
We better wrap it up.
But yeah, so vampires. There's a few vampires of New Orleans stories, how vampires, kind of came about in New Orleans. It was a bunch of different cultural mixes, and it created the perfect soup, if you will.
If you will. Of the lunatic soup.
But I think you're right. I think you're onto something, that there are different tiers of vampires.
and
just
different
like
varieties.
now, do you think somebody can be human and have vampire characteristics?
Yeah.
Like, can they be energy suckers?
1000%.
So does that make them paranormal in any way? That's a good question. I think that's a question.
I don't know. I'm going to ponder on that.
What do you guys think?
Let us know. That's interesting.
Isn't
because
that
I know for a
interesting?
I know people in my everyday life who I interact with, and they are definitely energy suckers to the point that you're just like,
Yeah. One of my favorite sayings is two things can be true at the same time.
absolutely, yeah.
Right? So we can have humans, but at what point do they intersect with the paranormal? Everything's just a word, right? What do I mean by paranormal? I mean something out of the norm of humanity. I think that's a bigger discussion that we need to have.
Yeah, bigger discussion. But I think that there is like different varieties of vampires. I think there's also like I said, aliens who literally will come and like take blood from people, from animals, from whatever.
So could that lead to the vampire lore and legend?
Yeah.
Because at the very beginning of this episode, we talked about what's going on in Egypt right now with the Great Pyramids and what was found below it. And so what created that? Because that obviously wasn't humanity, unless humanity was much more advanced and then broke.
Do I think that there is definitely people who suck the life out of other people? Possibly, and that keeps
but what
them
is
living
that?
for forever, but they have to be someone who like
Do you
has
think Comte Saint Germain is still around?
I don't know. I kind of feel like it could be. I don't know. I'm saying never say never.
Even in Mormonism, I grew up with, there's the people that were still around. What were they? The three witnesses or something?
I don't know. I'm not Mormon.
They're still around today. But what are the three witnesses? What else could that be? Could that be a vampire? Could any other word?
1000%. Yeah. I mean, I think it's a possibility for sure.
Interesting.
That's going to be my answer for everything now.
Because you hear about these stories of like people are in distress and some random person shows up and helps them and disappears.
Yeah, 1000%.
What is that?
All right, you guys. Well, let us know what you think. And you know where to find us on all the social medias, Lunatic Soup Podcast, all of the things.
Yep, on all of the things. We are most responsive on Instagram, just so you know.
Yep. And make sure you go and get yourself some Lunatic Soup, especially from the Incline variety. If you are here in the Pacific Northwest, go get some Incline because they're one of our favorites.
Incline is the best.
And Fierce.
And
I don't know. They're tied. They're tied.
It depends on the mood, I think. It depends on the mood.
Yeah, Fierce has the boutique-y taste that we love.
Which this was the first year on St. Patty's Day that we didn't.
I know. I can't believe
that we didn't go to Fierce.
I know. I feel bad.
But we still had a drink on St. Patty's.
We did.
St. Patty's Day.
We had some Guinness. No, what do we actually drink on St. Patty's?
We had a Patty's. It was
One Tree green cider. And then we had rum.
Why is the rum always gone?
It's me. We're raising our hands.
It's me.
You can't hear us or see us. I'm the problem. It's me.
That was for you, bitch.
Thanks. I appreciate that. I love you.
Well, if you've had an encounter with a vampire, let us know.
Please let us
know.
Fuck.
Like, I really want to know.
I mean, if you're lucky enough to have that and be alive, let us know. All right, get yourselves Lunatic Soup.
And remember, in this crazy world,
it is good to be a lunatic.
Bye.
Bye.